relaxing.
Hi there and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We're standing around here in the... Yeah, it's in our mind. It's in our tides. We've just defeated some infestation of the sorrow after the children of the Endless Gate have given us the harsh treatment. Now, let's look. We have never been here before. If you've played the beta, this has been one of the first rooms you got into. But we'll explore it now. We'll see where this leads us. Images flicker in the air projected from this machine, reliving the same scene over and over again. As you study the device, you feel it reaching into your mind, pulling memories to the surface. Let the memory take you. A curious Nano. You are watching a display cast through crystal prisms. The images and the colors are a jagged rainbow, just as they have been in every previous iteration of this machine, when they should be a single glowing picture, at least if this device is to function as intended. You hiss through your teeth in frustration. How many years must you waste in trying to align these energies? Is this effort fruitless? Turn it off, you snarl. Your apprentice pays you no heed. A moment longer, he murmurs. Just a moment. He's kneeling before the control panel, and he reaches in to make a slight adjustment. Above him, the images and the colors align. He sits back on his haunches, an enormous grin wreathing his face. I knew it, he loves. I could hear it whispering to me. It's like it wants to be done. This is my masterpiece. Now what's the next step? You're not sure if your cast of prodigy is talking to you or to the machine. You stare at the back of his head. He's undeniably gifted. In certain aspects, you have to admit he even surpasses you. This is, after all, part of why you constructed his body the way you did. But now that he's achieved this, do you dare to let him return to the world? He knows your deepest secret now and holds your future in his hands. But you feel a certain affection for him. To kill him would be poor thanks indeed. Instead, you speak. Mazov, you whisper. He turns around, and the instant he makes eye contact, the full force of your psychic power crashes through his meager defenses. You insinuate yourself into his memories and erase the details of this last year of work. It's a crude tool, a bludgeon, but you tell yourself that it's kinder than destroying him. You almost believe it. My God, we've got to find Mazov. He's the original cast-off. And are we... That's really also the question. Are we the one? The one and only? Let's have a look at these machines here, too. Machine no longer functions. All of its energy seems to have gone toward the pulse that affected its platform. And let's look at the tank, the purple tank. What's in there? The machine projects a looping holographic scene. As you study it, you briefly feel it probe your mind. And then an onrushing wave of artificial nostalgia as it summons memories. Allow it to come. You have been walking under the wasted sun for what feels like days. The sun does not move on the horizon, and its incessant heat has scoured the plane of life. Your water is running low, and you're seriously considering abandoning this body. And then you see shapes shimmering on the horizon. You release an eye catcher. It will tell you if this is a mirage or a destination. It shoots into the sky, vanishing from sight. It returns with good news. You've discovered an oasis of sorts. You trudge onward, bitterly wishing for better boots. When at last you reach the rude collection of wattle and daub huts, primitive humans gathering around you, besieging you in a strange tongue, they offer you some of their precious remaining water, and you settle down to learn the basics of their language. After a day, you know enough to understand the depth of their plight. They say the lurker in the cave has stolen the sun's momentum. They beg for your aid. After a fitful nap, you begin the perilous climb to the cave. Inside a long-forgotten installation houses a trapped construct. It speaks through the scree of a fallen ceiling, and it tells you that it has demanded the autochthones clear the rubble. When they refused to dig it free so that it could return to its work, it sealed the plane inside a time bubble. They will come to reason, it concludes. You don't have time for this. The construct's needs are paltry compared to the need for water. You concentrate, marshalling your powers, the tides you have been researching. You imagine them as a blade, and you hurl them against the construct's circuitry. The machine struggles, throwing up defenses against you, but it's no match for this new energy. It fizzles and dies, and you feel a wrench as time lurches back into motion. You look at your hands. The flesh hangs loose on your suddenly skeletal frame. A steep price to protect these villagers. Whoa! I feel like I'm dreaming while experiencing this. And that other blue tank here, what is it? As you inspect this device, you feel it rifling through your mind, bringing up a blur of unbidden images. One of them in particular demands your attention, tugging insistently at a buried memory. Allow it to come, of course. We're so curious. You enter the tavern, and every face turns to you. The warm susurrus of conversation trails off. They know you, and they know what you've come here for. The Aldea of Thol supports the nearby clave, and the locals keep a chary eye on the Aeon priests. They know the dangers of the Numenera as scientists on Earth, and given their proximity to the endless battle, they know what your tattoo means. You hear the sharp whisper, "Cast off scam." You don't give them the satisfaction of looking. But you can feel the tension in the room as you make your way up to the bar. The tavern keeper won't meet your eye. You know what comes next. You sigh and turn to face the room. A large burly woman stands in front of you. You're not welcome here, Castoff. Your damn war is a bane. We'll have no Castoffs here, not anymore. Get out. Or by the gods, we'll make you wish you had. You feel energies building and swirling within you. Your smile is savage as you weave a net of the tides. You have no idea who you're talking to. I'm no Castoff. I am their creator. I am the author of the endless battle. I am the changing god, and you will revere me. You hold your hands wide, and the tides spill from you. Half the villagers fall to their knees, weeping as your will twists their hatred into adoration. The burly woman yanks a knife from her belt. You'll not take my mind, monster. Her neighbors fall on her before she can take another step, knives flashing. Her life spills across the floor around your feet. You step through it, trailing bloody footprints to the door, and you're not sure if the disgust you feel is for the dead woman or for yourself. That's pretty harsh.
Yes.
This machine? No present threat, the machine hums idly. It offers no way for you to interact with it. All right. Then let's go to that orange thing here.
Now.
Teleporter, prison, whatever it is. This little device issues a series of ticks and clicks, and each one calls to a different part of your mind. You feel a memory coming. Allow it to come. You are lost in the scent of her hair, the taste of her mouth, the feel of her skin. You stumble against the door and fumble with the lock, unwilling to break contact with this remarkable, beautiful, wonderful woman. Even before you manage to wrestle the door open, you're already shrugging out of your clothes. Once inside, the rest of your clothes disappear as if by magic. The city outside is noisy, but you can't hear the din of the market as you focus on her breath, her eyes, her body, and the day vanishes like your clothes. Eventually, hours later, night falls, and the two of you collapse onto the ruined bed. She drifts off to sleep, whispering in your ear of what you could accomplish together. As her contented breathing warms your chest, You reflect. You never expected Zalimeri to be like this. When you sought her out, you intended only to take advantage of her position and her expertise, but she has become so much more. In such a short time, she makes you reconsider everything you've been striving toward for. All these years. Gods, you don't remember feeling love like this for anyone since no. Another memory swells, and it reminds you of your goal. What you want in this moment can't distract you from the centuries you have spent building this life. You stroke Salimeri's hair, and the tides trickle from you into her dreams. You break her love for you, turning it back to the work you discussed. You refocus her mind and rebuild her affection. You don't want to lose this, but you can't cast off your ambition. You lie in bed, waiting for her to wake, for the work to start again. A single tear wells in your eye, and you dash it away. So it hurts other people, that. And the last one, the yellow one. Let's go. A low aromatic fog surrounds this device, and every whiff of the vapor conjures up a memory from deep within you. Let it come. The cheering throng that spreads before you across Government Square has a voice like thunder, rolling and booming through the city. The people in it are victims, survivors, victors, and the last of their enemies kneels before you on the broad steps. You hold your hands aloft for silence. The thunder subsides to a low murmur and becomes a quiet, hungry wait. They want to see vengeance. And so do you. Oh, the ache is so strong. Ojesti Telkotu, you proclaim, orphan maker, hope smasher. The crowd sees at its titles. Today is the day of your judgment, you roar. Today is the day that Tabat pay in full for the crimes against our citizens, against humanity everywhere. Today sees an end, at last, to the Tabat. The crowd erupts into frenzied joy. You lean forward and whisper in his ears. You have two choices, a quick death or an immortality, for which you sacrifice your ambition and your freedom. Tabat stares at you, his strange eyes wide. Why? Because one choice will end your subjugation here now cleanly. The other will give you immortality, but imprisoning you in time. But consider, one day I might die, and on that day you will still be here. I am giving you a gift if you can master it, a victory, but only if you can learn the deadly art of patience. Tabat scowls, sensing some trick. You could touch him with your mind to shove him over the edge of desire. He winces as the ripple of your psyche washes over him. He rumbles. Death holds no fear, but I will tell the future how I bested you. You smile as you turn away, signaling for the machines that will enslave him to your will. Then you pause. He was a notable foe. Perhaps he deserved better than to be a permanent marker to your triumph. You owed him the right to make his own choices, you think. Then you remember the faces of the sickened and dying. You inject him yourself. So killing everyone because we forget. What's wrong with us? We'll find that out in the next episode of Torment Tides of Numenera. It is truly a torment right now. Thank you for watching and happy gaming. Have a good time. Until next time. In the mystery.